Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to draft a 3-part corset top. If it's something that you're interested in, you're definitely in the right place. Make sure to watch till the end of this video, and if you're also new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so before you leave. Thank you very much. So without much further ado, let's get right into this video. So I already have my pattern paper placed here with some measurements already. The length of this top is going to be 17 inches from the shoulder. So shoulder to the bust point is going to be 9 inches, and then the shoulder to the chest line area is going to be 8 inches, like I'm indicating right there. The shoulder measurement that I'm working with for this tutorial is 15 inches, so divided by 2 gives me 7.5. That's what I measured there that I'm indicating. And then for the neck width, I came out by 3 inches, and for the neck depth 3 inches as well. Then I came down 1 inch for the shoulder slope like I'm indicating, and then from there I connected it back into the neckline, and then that's just the line connecting the shoulder line to the chest line area. I also came down 12 inches from the shoulder line for the under bust line as indicated. Now the next step we're going to be taking now is to place our bust band measurement, and I'm working with a bust band measurement of 7 inches. So 7 inches divided by 2 gives me 3.5 inches. So I'm going to be placing that on the chest line, on the bust point, on the under bust point, and on the waistline as well. And then I'll be connecting all points together on a straight line. Now the next thing that I'll be doing is coming over to the shoulder slope or the shoulder measurement that we have here, and then I'll measure what I have there. So in this case I have 4.5 inches, so I'll divide that by 2 and get the midpoint, so that will give me 2.25. So from that point I'll connect it straight to the bust point like this. So I'll go over to the waistline and take off an inch on both sides for the dart at the waistline area. You could take more than 1 inch for the dart if you're working with a bigger cup size. Next is to go over to the bust area and come down by 1 inch from the bust point, just like I'm doing. Then on the under bust line, I'm also going to be going out by half an inch on both sides for the dart intake. Like I said before, you can also increase the amount of dart you're taking from the under bust if you're working with a bigger cup size. Now I'll just connect the point from the under bust straight to the waistline on both sides like I'm doing. So now I'll connect these points together to meet the point under the bust with a curved ruler. So what I'm doing basically is just connecting the parts from the under bust part to the point below the bust area that we came down 1 inch by previously. So I'll come back to the under bust area and do something called the umpire contouring, which basically is me trying to contour that area more and tightening it up more. So I'm going to be going out 1/4 of an inch on both sides and creating kind of like a new dart again on that under bust line. This is just for it to get more fitted under the bust area. So that's just what I'm doing. So the next thing is I'm going to be connecting it together to the waist dart that we took previously. So I'll connect it from the new dart that we have on the under bust area now, connecting it straight down to the darts the waist dart that we had before. So that's just what I'm doing now. I'll just connect the two parts together. Now the next thing that I'll be doing now is to connect this new dart together to the point under the bust area. So I'll be going back to the new dart that I have at the under bust area and using a curved ruler to connect it back to the point under the bust area, the 1 inch we took down before. So I'm going to be joining them together now to the new dart that we have on the under bust area. So that is what I'm doing. So I'll just go ahead and use marker to draw out these lines again for visibility. So that's what I'm doing. I'll just use my marker now to connect those points together again and make them clearer and easy to understand. So I'm noting the amount of that I have at that area. So that's 1.5 inches of that. Now the next thing that I want to be doing now is to take our bust radius, and in order for us to do that, I'm going to be placing my tape measure from the bust point to the under bust. You measure what you have there, the distance between the bust point and the under bust. In this case, I have 3 inches for that. So you place your tape measure on your bust point and start taking the 3 inches all around in a circular motion, making sure you are taking all your measurements from the bust point to 3 inches. And also note that the 3 inches is not a constant. It totally depends on your bust circumference and your bust radius. So I've gone ahead to take the 3 inches all around, as you can see. So the next thing that I want to do now is to determine the depth of this neckline for this top. So it depends on what you want, but I'm going to be sticking with the 8 inches for the chest line. So I'm going to be starting my neckline from the chest line area. It totally depends on you. You could come down, you could go lower or higher. It depends on your preference. And then for the width of this neckline, I'm going to be going out by half an inch. Remember, this paper is folded into two, so that's why I came out by half an inch, so that when I unfold this paper, it's going to be 1 inch for the width of the neckline. I hope you understand. And then I'm just going to be marking this out with the marker. So before I draw the cups, I'm going to be coming to this area to do some contouring on this area. So I'm going to be taking out 1.5 inches of that, just like we did on the under bust on this area as well. So I'm going to be going out by 0.5 inch on the center front, and then going out by 1 inch on this other side, making a total of 1.5 inches, just like that. So that is the dart that we're taking out from this area. And then I'm going to be connecting it back to the bust point with a curved ruler. So I'm going to be coming back to this area now and doing some little contouring to avoid gaping. So I'm going to be taking out 1/4 of an inch from both sides of this dart. I'll take out 1/4 of an inch and form the new dart, and then connect it back to the bust point. So in total we have 2 inches there. So the total dart there now is 2 inches. I'm going to note that down. Now the next thing I will do now is to go over to the chest line area and place my bust circumference measurement. So my bust is 36 inches, divided by 4 gives me 9, so that's what I'm marking right there. After which I'll bring my tape measure back to the bust circumference measurement and that line right there, and then I'll determine the midpoint of that. Between that, then I'll mark the midpoint of that. After marking the midpoint, I'm going to be coming down by half an inch from there. So that will serve as my new chest line. So I'm going to be taking my measurements on that line now. So I came down by half an inch from that point. So the next thing to do now is to draw out the cup. So I'll be placing this curved ruler on the first that leg on the chest area, then I'll connect it to the center front, just like I'm doing. Then the next thing I will do now is to go to the lower part of it and also connect from the center front down to the second dart at the under bust area. Just look at what I'm doing. It's not that complicated, I promise you get it. Now to draw the other side of our cup, I'm going to be connecting it from the 0.5 that we came down by on that new chest line. Then I will connect it back to the second dart leg on the chest area, just like I'm doing. So I connected it to the 0.5 that we came down by before. Then I've also placed the curved ruler on that side again and connect from where we stopped to the under bust, to connect to the dart at the under bust, just like I did. And just like that, we are done with drawing out the cups. It's quite simple, guys. So remember the 0.5 inch that we came down by the new chest line that we drew before. So I'm just going to be marking that out now before we start placing our measurements on this new chest line. So I'm going to be marking that out now, the 0.5 that we came down by before. So this is it now. I'm marking it out now. Now I'll be placing my bust circumference measurement on this new chest line. So that's 34 divided by 4. That will give me 8.5. So I'll be placing 8.5 there. So I'll be placing the 8.5 inches on the new chest line right there. Then I'll go to the dart that we took at this chest area. Remember the 2 inches dart. I'm going to be replacing it back. So I'm going to be adding the 2 inches now. Then I'll go over to the waistline, and my waist is 27 inches divided by 4 gives me 6.75. So that is what I'm placing there. After placing the 6.75, I will also add the 1 inch dart that we took at the waistline. I'm going to be adding the 1 inch dart back into the measurement. So that is what I'm adding right now, 1 inch. And after doing that, I will come back to the chest area and add 1 inch sewing allowance to it. So 1 inch sewing allowance. I will go over to the waistline and also add 1 inch sewing allowance before connecting the two parts together. So after doing that, I'm going to be coming back to the cup area. Remember, this is a 3-part corset, so we have to be making some changes to the cup. So for this particular design of 3-part corset that I'm doing, I'm going to be coming down by 1.5 inches on this side. Then on the center, I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches. It depends on the style you want. So it totally depends on what you want. You can customize it however you want. But for this tutorial, at the center, I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches. While at the edge, I'm going to be going down by 1.5 inches. So that's what I'm marking there, 1.5 from the edge right there. Then I'll go over to the center and come down by 2 inches. That is what I want for this particular design of 3-part corset. I hope you understand. I'll also go down 2 inches at the other side of that part. After doing that, then I'll go over to the edge at the center front and then come down by 1.5 inches, just the same way I did for the other side. After marking out all the points, I'll just go ahead and connect together with a curved ruler like I'm doing. So the upper part of this corset is going to be joined together to form a like one piece. I'm going to be showing you how to do that later on. But before I do that, I'm going to just label this pattern. This is the center front unfold. That is the side front. And I'm going to be labeling the cup so as not to confuse myself. So that is 1, that's 2, that's number 3, and then the last one is number 4. Because if you do not label this, it can be very confusing, especially after you've cut them out and they're all scattered around. So after doing that, now I'm just going to cut out the pattern. Now moving to the back pattern, it's quite simple and straightforward for the back, but I already went ahead to place my measurements, some of my measurements, the length of the top 17 inches, then the shoulder to the bust point, and then I came up 1 inch for the shoulder to the chest line area. So and then I also took about 1 inch for the zipper allowance, and then for the shoulder, same thing as I did for the front. And then for the neckline, the width 3 inches, then for the depth I did 1.5. We are not really going to be making use of the neckline or the shoulder at this point, but I just want to put that out there just like as a guideline. So after doing that, I'm going to be placing my bust span measurement or the nipple to nipple measurement. Remember, it was 7 inches for the nipple to nipple, and then divided by 2 gives us 3.5 inches. So I'm going to be placing that on the bust line and also on the waistline. So I'll be placing that, and then I'll be connecting the 2 points together on a straight ruler, just like I'm doing. Next is to take out 1 inch for that at the waistline. So I'm going to be going out half an inch on both sides at the waistline, and then I'll connect it straight to the bust point. Next is to go to the chest line and come down by half an inch, just like we did for the front, and then we'll mark out that line as the new chest line. So we're going to be taking our bust circumference on that new chest line. So I'm going to just be indicating that and rolling that out now with a marker. Now for the center back neckline, I'll be going down by 1 inch from the chest line. I'll be going down by 1 inch, then I'll connect it to the bust circumference measurement on the new chest line, which is 34 inches divided by 4, which gives me 8.5, and that's what I'm placing there. Then from the 1 inch that I came down by from the center back, I'll be connecting and drawing out my new neckline for the back. So I'll connect the 2 points together on a slanted line. Now the shape that I do for my back is optional. It's just my preference. You could leave yours and just draw a straight line at the back for the shape of the neckline, but I came down 1 inch because I wanted to be kind of slanted, so that's why I did it like that. Now I'll be adding my sewing allowance of 1 inch, just like I did for the front. So I'll go over there and add my 1 inch sewing allowance. After adding that, I'll go over to the waistline and also divide my waist into 4. That's 27 divided by 4, which will give me 6.75 inches. Then after placing that, I'm going to go over to the dart. I took out 1 inch dart. I'm going to be placing that 1 inch dart back. After doing that, I'll place my 1 inch sewing allowance, and then I'll connect from the waistline to the bust area. And as usual, because I do not want this bulgy look for my zipper, I'm going to be going out towards 0.5 inch on both sides of that line at the waist, and then from each 0.5 inch I'm going to be connecting back to the upper part of this top, just like I'm doing. I'll connect back to the top like this, and then go to the other side and do the same thing, while putting the 1 inch that we use for the zipper allowance into consideration. So I'll just connect like that. So that will be the center back, and that will be the side back, and then I'll just cut out this pattern. So you'll be needing 2 pieces for the back. Then for the dart area, it's either you cut through this dart and then you join it together later, but I'm not going to be cutting through. I'm going to be leaving it like this and then cutting it like this on the fabric and then pinching out the darts later on. And also, if your back is going to be having loop instead of the zipper, you're going to be coming out more than the 1 inch I came out by. You're going to be coming out about 2 or 2.5 inches for the opening for your loop at the back. So I just wanted to put that out there. So remember, we had 2 pieces after cutting this out on the front at the corset area. So I'm going to be joining these 2 pieces together with a masking tape before cutting it as a whole on a new fresh paper. So now I'll just place this on a new paper and then cut it out so we can have just 1 piece. So you're going to be cutting 2 pieces of this on fabric and also 2 pieces for lining. Then you'll be adding your sewing allowances around this. So for the side front, you're going to be having 2 pieces for that for the two sides at the front. Then you'll be adding your sewing allowances round. You won't have to the side. We've already added that before. You had the M line, and also to where you're going to be joining the cups and the darts. Just like we did for the side front, we're also going to be adding our sewing allowances around that area, medicating to join the cups and also to join the darts together. We are also going to be adding to the M line to finish up the M line of this center front piece and the side front piece. So you're going to be having something like this if you follow the steps that I showed us earlier. So I'm just indicating how this cup is going to look like after joining all the parts together, and I'm indicating where you're going to be joining. Remember, this is a 3-part corset, so the corset is going to be like in 3 parts. The number 1 and the number 2 are coming together. Then you're going to be joining it to the upper part of this corset. And remember guys, you're going to be cutting out 2 pieces each for each of the piece of the corset. So you're going to be cutting 2 pieces for number 1 corset cup, for number 2, and also for the upper part of the corset, and also cutting out the corresponding number of linings for the corset pieces that you've cut out. And this brings us to the end of this tutorial guys. If you found my video helpful, please give me thumbs up and also share my video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so before you leave, because this really helps me know that I'm bringing a content that you guys enjoy. And also don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so you can get notified when I upload new content. So till I see you guys in my next video, bye.